Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about improving your value proposition. This is a B2B tutorial by Pentex B2B Marketing. So let's get started. What is a value proposition? Basically, the value proposition is the why of your business. It includes the persuasive case for using your product or service. And basically, it's something that should be defined for every product or service that you are providing. What happens if your value proposition is weak? Basically, it means bad news. It means no sales, since you cannot attract your prospect attention if you don't have a very strong value proposition defined. You will not have any leads or interactions with prospects. It's very hard to come up with ideas for ads or for outreach strategies, and your sales presentation will be also weak along all the sales process, and you'll have very weak selling points, and this is very bad and something that must be fixed. Why is it so important? Basically, if you have a very good value proposition, it's much easier for you to engage your customers. It's easier to market to the right people because you know exactly who you're reaching out to, which will also allow for a positive ROI along the way. And you're only going to invest where it matters, right? So your money, effort, and time will be invested in the right places because your strategy and your value proposition is very much defined. And it also means stronger copywriting, ads, emails, and so on. And we're going to see a lot of examples in this video. Now, who should care about it? So if you're a founder, CEO, obviously you have to take a look into this because this is a very essential point for your business. Business development persons, right? So you're developing a strategy for growth. That's something that you must take a look. Sales managers, okay? You want to know exactly what to say to prospects in the sales conversations, right? On the presentations and so on. And marketing officers, obviously you are in charge of the marketing strategy, what to write on ad and so on. So you have to have a very defined value proposition. All right. So one point about B2B marketing, and it's a very important point. We are selling to specific decision makers, right? So we're selling to individuals who have a very specific job title, those decision makers, right? And also, based on their job title, within the company that they're selling, they have a very specific KPI that's relevant for them to a specific metric that they are in charge of, which is relevant in relation to what you're selling. So that means that we have to tailor our value proposition to these different customer profiles. So based on understanding the profiles of who we're selling to, we can actually create the right value proposition. So let's take a quick example here. So let's say that our product is a B2B corporate computer maintenance service. And you're here on the left sitting and thinking about your clients, right? So what questions must you ask yourself in order to be able to make an effective value proposition? So the first question obviously is, who should care about my service, right? What relevant titles am I trying to speak with that would be interested in that? What industries, what company industries am I trying to target? Where are they, right? Geographies, places. And based on that, what do I want to write to them? What is the message that I'm trying to get across, right? So those are the main questions that we have to ask ourselves. And now let's dive into this example of answers for these questions. So the customer profile. Within this example, right? Who should care about B2B computer maintenance service, right? So basically, usually it's the IT or any tech related decision maker that is in charge of the IT systems, right? Mainly we are targeting an IT CTO kind of title, IT manager, CTO, and so on. The type of industries really that can really vary, but for this example, let's say we are targeting technology companies or logistic companies. So companies that have a lot of computers, a lot of networks, and obviously those computer networks must stay up all the time and must be frequently maintained. And let's say that we're targeting in the UK. So for example, if I am, for example, from the UK, I'd like to also find UK companies. So this is the customer profile, the client, right? Now I'm asking myself more questions about the psychology of the client, okay? So relevant questions that I want to ask here is, first of all, what problems and pain points do my client have, right? So, for example, in this example, the type of problems and pain points that, for example, a CTO can have or an IT manager can have is maintenance problem. Okay, for example, it might be that the maintenance of the computer network takes too much time, right? And that's a very large problem. And then too much system downtime. Okay, so those are two pain points that they might have. And now I want to ask myself, what implications do they have? Okay, so the implications are losing work time and frustrated clients. Now, let me just reiterate one more time. So, for example, because an IT manager might have maintenance problems that take too much time or too much system downtime, that means that the workers in this company might not work all the hours they need. For example, they might lose like 30 hours of work every month just because of this problem of the computer crashes, right? And that could also result in frustrated clients for this person, because it really make a negative impact on their delivery for their clients. So this is something that we have to keep in mind, because the customer psychology allows us then to understand how we can write something that would be interesting for our clients. So now we want to ask ourselves, what is the old way? What is their way of doing stuff which is really problematic? So how would they do that, what you're doing, without using you? So probably they're doing stuff manually, right? Probably they're calling a tech guy every time, or internal IT people who lack expertise maybe. So it might be that their way is not effective. So just list yourself the type of activities that they are engaging in right now which are not effective. This is something that also can help your case and help you understand what kind of, let's say, transformation you're providing for them. After you figure out the old way, you want to figure out the new way. So what's your way? What are you bringing to the table that is new? Okay? How would you do it for them? So probably 24/7 support. So maybe it might be that you have like maximum downtime guaranteed. For example, you might guarantee up to 1 hour. So for example, if a system crashes, so up to 1 hour and everything is up again. Okay, so a maximum downtime guaranteed. An expert for any problem that's always on the premise. So there's all sorts of ways that you might deliver things in a new way. So list them to yourself, and this contrast will allow you to really understand what is the transformation that you can promise to your client. And once you figure out the problems, the old way, the new way, you can write your promise. Okay, so a promise usually looks like something like that. It starts with "we help," okay, customers profile specific, achieve a specific result in a specific time frame using a specific mechanism, right? This is one way to write a promise, and the second way could be from a specific state, from old way to new way, for example, in a specific time frame. So those are two main ways you can use. You can take these ideas and write them on your website, on your ads. We'll see more examples in this video. Now a quick example based on the template that I've showed you. So in our case, we can write something like, we help CTOs achieve minimum network downtime in 30 days using managed IT services. Okay, this is one example of how we can really make everything concise based on the research that we've done. Another example, from unpredictable network issues to stable uptime in 30 days. So this is another example of a transformation. This is what we're providing. This is what you're lacking. This is your problem. We provide the solution. And those are the main two templates that you can use. Okay, now I'm in the value proposition document. This is a tool that I've created just to help you navigate a little bit easier when you want to actually define and sharpen your value proposition. So basically, the product that we have been promoting here is a managed IT service, right? And what we're trying to define here is the customer profile and the psychology behind it. So I've put some rows here, right? So that can be a guide for you. So let's take a little bit of a closer look here. So first of all, we define the profile, right? And then we want to ask ourselves, for this managed IT service, what position holders are we trying to find? So CTOs, seniorities, founders, directors, VPs, so senior people. Industries, technology, logistics. Geographies, UK. Company sizes, 100 to 5,000 employees. So you really want to define every profile that's relevant for this specific service, and then ask yourself about the psychology. Okay, so what are the pain points that they might be facing? So one pain point could be long and frequent downtimes, right? The implication of that is over 30 hours of work time lost every month, right? And what is your value, your solution to this problem? You will provide constant uptime, right? So you're solving basically the problem and its implication, and then you want to mention which feature of your service delivers this value. So basically here it could be the 24/7 IT monitoring. Okay, so and then you want to remember this feature, because probably you will want to write that at some point in your message or in your sales meeting with them, right? And then you want to define the transformation based on the psychology here. So let's take an example. So old way, calling a technician when a problem arises. New way is IT crew available to fix problems, right? So what could be a transformation claim here? So from long downtime periods to constant uptime in 30 days, right? So from this manual, always things being bad to a constant uptime, right? And then another example, trying to fix problems internally and unsuccessfully. What's the new way? Having an IT expert on call on the premise all the time. Transformation claim. We help tech companies eliminate IT downtimes using a managed IT service. Okay, so you can play with that. You can add more ideas of your own, and this could really guide you. And now let's take a look on how you can really implement these ideas to specific examples in the real world. Alright, once you've done with the document, let's take a look on how you can apply the value proposition in your campaigns. Let's see some examples following our specific example. Email outreach. Okay, here's an example of how an email could be tailored using this value proposition. So, title: No more frustrating network downtime. Content: Hi John, I saw your LinkedIn profile and had to write a quick email. As a CTO, are you experiencing too much network downtime and crashes every month? Is this interrupting the productivity of your users? We help CTOs in this situation reach maximum uptime every month with a custom-made IT management service. If that sounds interesting, what does your calendar look like to schedule a quick call? So that's a good example of how we can break down this value proposition, this research that we've done, and really put it into work using these emails, right? Let's see another example. LinkedIn connection. So connection request. When we connect on LinkedIn, we can add a note. So we can say something like, Hi John, I work a lot with CTOs like you. So I'd be happy to connect on LinkedIn. And then a conversation starter. After we connected, a few days after that, we can write, Hi John, thanks for connecting with me. I work with CTOs who have difficulties getting rid of frequent network downtime. Any chance we can hop on a quick call and explore some synergies? So this is a good example of how we can, again, take the value proposition, we mention the problem, and then we follow up with that. LinkedIn ad. Okay, this is a LinkedIn ad example. This is those ads that you see on LinkedIn promoted. You can promote ads. So basically, this is how it can look like. So for CTOs of tech companies, tired of countless work hours lost due to frequent downtimes, eliminate these problems in under 3 days using a custom-made IT service. And then on the ad itself, we say frustrated with network downtime, eliminate them completely in 30 days. Book a call. And the title below is simply no more downtime, and they can request a demo. Okay, so we really press on the problem, we are targeting the right people, and this is how you get this very good engagement. Okay, now it's your turn. Start developing your value proposition. Okay, just go to the document that I've attached here and start building your value proposition. Start sharpening the emails that you send, right? Use our free template, as I said, as a basis. It's very good and it really works. If you want to learn more, if you want to have a conversation with us, we'd love to do that. Okay, so you can book a one-on-one call with Pentex to really structure your value proposition, and obviously we can implement a much fuller B2B marketing process from start to end, following all the 5 steps of the customer journey. So we'd really love to see you. Just you can book a call with us here on the page, and looking forward to see you. Thank you very much, and see you soon.